chapter 5, verse number 44. You see, I trust a bank and I put all my money in the bank, and then I found that this bank is a fraud. Who is the fool? The bank or the one who trusted the bank? Do you understand what I'm saying? When you trust, and then your trust came to be false trust, how you can tell me that Allah is God? Well, watermelon actually doesn't describe a Muslim too much, except that a watermelon have holes. You see, do you know that the Muslim, they have fatwas that you can have sex with watermelon? I'm serious. I mean, this is a religion, is not only satanic, it's sexual, weird. I mean, why in the world anyone, how in the world that there is a man, he is going to have sex with watermelon? And you will find that the Shia, they are making fun of the Sunni, because the Sunni, they are teaching that it's okay to have sex with watermelon, and they are making fun of the Shia, that the Shia, they practice still muta. So the Shia, they ask the Sunni, well, do we need witnesses when you marry a waterwoman? Is it lawful to have sex with watermelon she is not mature? Is it okay if she is under the age of 6? There's a website. Let me see what the name it was. I forgot the name. I think Shia Pan something. Let me find it for you so you die laughing. I don't want you to die. I'm just joking. The morality of Sunni. Here we go. I found it. Shia Pen, Revealing the Truth, Chapter 8, Example of Sunni Morality. Sunni is the Muslim Sunni sect. The Shia and Sunni, they are the enemies. And if you read, you will go crazy. You will die laughing. This is the dialogue between Muslim Sunni and Muslim Shia, fighting against each other, exposing each other, and trying to win. Let us say, you know, Shia trying to make Sunni become Shia, and Shia trying to make etc. Like, you know, against each other. So look what this here says. Third example of Sunni morality. Sunni ulama means scholars, has ruled or have ruled on the principality of having sex with watermelon. And here is the reference. Ibn al-Qayyim, he said, if a man make a hole in a watermelon or a piece of daw, even daw, like Allah, can you trust? You see, we are using the word trust now. Can you trust a Muslim to buy from him a watermelon? Can you? Most likely is going to be used and sexually abused. So read with me. Educate yourself sexually. Let us see how many of you will go to Walmart immediately and look for watermelon. So watermelon or a piece of daw. Women, Muslim women, don't let your husband get close to the daw. You are making bread, he will have sex with it. Piece of daw or leather skin, what the heck? Or statues, don't take a Muslim to the museum. You take a Muhammadan to the museum, he will have sex with the statues and sex with it. Then this is the same as what we have said about type of masturbation. So having sex with watermelon, brother, it's a masturbation, i.e. it is halal. No? So now there is a double halal with the watermelon. It's halal to eat it, it is halal to eat it. And those people, they are busy chasing Christian to say to them that your book is corrupted. And this is the biggest scholars of Islam. Here the Shia, they are asking the Muslim Sunni some questions, serious questions. So look what they said. All the Muslims should certainly be grateful that Ibn al-Qayyim has offered advice on the easiest way to masturbate. So thank you, Ibn al-Qayyim. And clearly Ibn al-Qayyim has done a lot of personal research in this issue. This is the ruling of the saved sect. So the Muslim Sunni, they call themselves, they are the saved sect. Certainly temporary marriage, which Muhammad he taught Muslims to do, and then the Muslim Sunni, they claim that he forbid it, but the Shia, they still practice it. So now you understand what they are fighting over. Shia still practice temporary marriage, which is not marriage really, it's sexual, 1 night, 1 hour contract. With the women is haram, but temporary marriage with watermelon is halal. In this defense, perhaps Ibn al-Qayyim only meant that it's allowed to marry watermelon with the intent of divorcing it for doing muta with the watermelon. Would clearly be an act of fornication. So, the Shia, they are returning the excuse the Sunni they gave about muta. The Sunni, they say if you practice muta now, it's a fornication. But the Sunni, they have different form of muta. They have zawaj friend, 1 day stand. We have a video of Mimi Hijab. He was saying to the Muslim Sunni, you go and marry somebody for 2 minutes, 5 minutes. We play the video many times. You can search for the video, Muhammad Hijab Abu Khadija. In English, Abu Khadija. Khadija. You will find it right away. So this is Islam. And the Muslim, they are coming after us, says, you change your book. Now, if I want to read the rest of this page, you will go crazy. So I'm not going to read it. I'm going to post it for you so you can enjoy reading it later for your sexual orientation. Because until now, none of you know anything about sex yet. The only one is expert with the art of sex is the Muhammadan and the Muslim Sunni specifically. Watermelon. And then the conversation here continue. It says, well, it seemed that Nasibi, this is how the Shia, they call the Muslim Sunni, Nasibi logic, have sex with any women as one can afford is utterly immoral. So this is what the Muslim believe actually. Having sex with as many women as you can, as long you can afford. You see it? Prostitution, this is Islam. And then, but having sex with as many watermelon as one can afford is not. Based on this, let us ask him some questions about ahkam related, ahkam mean rules related to having sex with watermelon. Are there any conditions as the age of the watermelon? This is a good question. She's young, she's old, she is virgin. So should we look for like certain age? For example, is it allowed to perform marriage with the intent of divorce with a newly grown watermelon? Or must one wait until the watermelon is 9 years old? I mean, do you see the mockery? This is religion. Both of them, they believe in the same garbage, by the way. This is the truth. Muhammad, he married Aisha at the age of 6. He was molesting her until the age of 9. At the age of 9, he did boom boom. So this guy is asking the Sunni, so shall we wait for the watermelon to become in the age of intercourse? Here he asked, must it be a biased watermelon, or it is permissible to contract marriage with intent of divorce with watermelon that is known to get around? sound like you are lying about watermelon. You know, Ant, I think you chose your name for a reason. I think there's an ant in your pant. I'm showing the reference, you donkey. I'm showing the website. I'm showing the Shia website. And sound you are lying about the watermelon. Don't get married. Your wife, she will leave you second day. Sound you are lying about watermelon, okay? But so, I'm reading the screen. This is your website. I'm showing them what is written in their website. And then they say to me, sound you are lying about watermelon, okay? You sound you are lying. It's a lie. It's not true. You're lying. We Muslim, we like watermelon. We don't have sex with them. We respect them. We protect them, actually. Actually, in the Middle East, we have nothing house for orphan watermelon, brother. And not only that, brother. We don't allow anyone to kiss them. We don't allow anyone to touch them, even if their ass is so red, brother. And Ant said to us, you know, Ant, like, you know, you sound like you're lying. I mean, I don't know. I show them the websites. I show them their reference. We show them, this is your website. And then they say to me, you're lying. How you can deal with this? Yeah, exactly. There's an ant in your pant. All right, this is why they keep moving. May a biased brother share his watermelon with another biased brother? Like, can we share the same watermelon around? I mean, look at the conversation. And they say, by the way, is the text clear? You see, I returned to the old method of broadcast because I think this is way better than, you know, that one is confusing. It's hard to deal with. I mean, this is easier, you know. And I will find a way for taking calls later. We will see. If I have to use Skype, I will use Skype. But I will not use Skype again, the one I used to use, the Debate TV. Forget about that one, because I've had like 20,000, I don't know, 30,000 users, I don't know, maybe 100,000 people texting me there, adding me, and it's really hard to deal with that one. So I will start afresh, and maybe after a few years too, we will delete it too. Guys, you know, I am single, and I have to be honest with you. I'm thinking about buying watermelons. I mean, you cannot resist the temptation. Having sex with the statues? Dough? With what? Piece of dough? You cannot trust Abdul even with the bread? Bread? You leave him with the watermelon, he if it. You leave him with the bread, he if it. Leather skin? Statues? You take him, don't take him to Rome. What happened to this Abdul when he arrived first time to Rome? There's statues everywhere. He will have sex with the statues of Caesar. He will be holding Caesar from his behind, and they will say to him, what are you doing, man? Is that how much you love him? As statues? You take a Muslim to the museum, he will paint every statue with his sperm. And then, you know, the conversation continue here. It's getting more educated. The education is getting more like more deep. So let us remember the word of Dr. Salama quoted in the beginning of his book. So this guy is writing against the Shia. Muta, on the other hand, is an open license for sexual pleasure with as many women as one can financially afford. The women who engaged in muta are hired women. Thus, it can be performed with all women irrespective of their age, character, conduct, or religion. It requires no witnesses, nor it is there any obligation on man part to provide food and shelter for the women. And here we ask yourself, as long this is how bad the muta is, so how the Quran allow it? Do you see the hypocrisy? Your Muslim friend, he said he do not know about watermelon. Did your Muslim friend, do you know that you are an ant? Huh? Do you knew that? Be careful. I think they are going to have sexual intercourse even with ants. CP closes Skype because he is a coward. My Skype is open for the last 20 years. Where you been, Potato Fifi? And you know what? I can open it for you if you bring me the real Fifi. Just get lost, son of Muta. My Skype is open for the last 20 years. Where you been, Potato? And by the way, it's still open. I can open it now. Do you want to play? Do you have watermelon with you? Do you have a hole in it? Or I make it a hole? What a coward, son of Muta. I challenge Christian Prince to debate me face to face. You face to face, ass to ass, you coward. All what you need to do is just call me. I mean, even if Ultimate Fraud can call me, who is left? This is how easy it is. Yeah, no exaggeration, 20 years. Do you know how long I'm fighting this garbage cult? Since the internet started. No exaggeration. I have a video of me in played in the Iranian government TV. They made a program about Islamophobia. Look who is talking about the phobia. And from all the internet, they could not find anyone present the Islamophobia better than Christian Prince. In the TV of the mullahs of Iran, the official government. And for me, I did not hear about it. Then somebody says to me, did you see your video in the government of Iran? And you will find at that time I was using a camcorder camera to record my screen. Not like now, it's easy, there's live streaming, you know. No, it was very hard job, and you convert the file, and then we have the DSL connection, which is so slow, and you lose connection, and you try to load the file again, and the file cannot be loaded. It was horrible. Not like now. I mean, things changed very huge. And at that time too, we don't have even English translation. I have to show everything in Arabic. All those websites are new. So let's continue here. And here the Nasibi, which is a Sunni, maybe we should call them Nasibi from now on. It seemed that they can have sex with as many women as one can afford, is utterly immoral, but having sex with many watermelon. So now the whole discussion is about a Muslim Shia. They can have sex with as many they can afford. But isn't it the truth is that the Muslim Sunni, they do the same? If there is a limit how many women you can have sex with in Islamic Sunni religion, there's no limit. You can have 4 at the same time, but you can divorce those 4 every 2 seconds if you want. And you can replace them with other 2, 4. And I think it's time to block you. Your friend, he told you? Okay. I want you to go and sit with your friend. You're acting like a child, so I have no time to see your text. My friend told you that it's not true. Okay. Let's see. Example of Sunni morality. A Salafi woman, which means Sunni women, she can suckle a Salafi man with a beard. And actually, I have to admit, I like this. You know, I like hunting, shooting, hiking, and I'm not going to talk about the last one. Let us read. Salafi women can suckle a Salafi man with a beard. By the way, I'm Salafi, and I have a beard. So I'm ready. I have all the requirement and the qualification. And then the Muslim, they come to us and they say, your Bible is corrupt. I mean, do you see the stupidity? All the garbage we see in front of us. For me, by the way, I don't like to accuse the Quran to be corrupted. The reason is, if we keep saying that, the Muslims by time, they will agree. They will find that this is the only way to can escape the reality that Muhammad is a false prophet. Because then they will say, see, okay, the Quran have mistakes and stupid things in it because the Quran is corrupted. But the original Quran was true Quran. We don't want to go there. We don't want to go there. I want to keep the Quran to be protected. So this is the Quran which is protected. And those are the verses of Allah. And the verses of Allah is so clear saying that Allah is a fool. He entrusted the Jews to protect the book. How God can be God, yet his trust was a foolish trust. How the Muslim, they say Allah, he knew the future, but he could not recognize that he is giving the wrong trust to the wrong people. Otherwise, we can show tons of reference and proofs that the Quran changed. There's a book of an Imam, big scholar. His name is As-Suyuti. As-Suyuti. He have endless number of quotation. He put them in his book to make it easier for people to see. Of reference about the Quran being lost and corrupt. And when the Muslim, they try to defend, let me show you an example of the defense. Here it says that Ibn Abi Ka'b, a man his name, and Abi Ibn Ka'b, he says, how many, the chapter of Al-Ahzab. This is the same chapter I speak about, you can do work as a pimp, if you remember. He said, what we read now is about 70 something verses. And then he continues saying, and I did read it with the Prophet of Allah, equal size to the chapter of the cow, even longer. And in it, it was the verses of stoning to death, a rajam. And then here it says, and this is lead us to understand that the chapter of Ahzab was a very big chapter, the same as the cow, but most of it is abrogated. You see how they try to now, so it's abrogated. If we go right now to the chapter of Al-Ahzab, this is the chapter 33. Let us go to the end. Look how long it is, 73 verses. 73, the last one is 73. See it? Okay, wonderful. We just saw that the chapter of Al-Ahzab used to be equal to the cow chapter and even longer. Let us go to the cow chapter. Chapter number 2. And again we go to the last verse. This is the longest chapter in the Quran. Look how long it is. Very big. So look what happened now. How many verses this chapter is? Is 286. 286. How many is Al-Ahzab now? Let us go to the other one. 73. So did you notice how many are lost? And then the Muslim, every one of them, he tried to fix it. Some they say, oh, most of it is abrogated, like even if it's abrogated, where it is. Then they say to you, oh, don't you know that the Quran there's a 3 kind of abrogation? One of them is abrogation of recitation. Why you abrogate recitation? If you abrogate the rule, and how in the world are you saying to me there was more than 200 verses, all of them about rules, and they are abrogated in 1 chapter? So this God, he made 200 verses and he ripped them apart and he says, don't show me where it says that. If we calculate 286 minus 73, there's 213 verses missing in 1 chapter. Just in 1 chapter. Just in 1 chapter. 213. And how the Muslim, they try to fix it? They say Allah knows best. We can go to different hadith. Actually, there's a verse in the Quran. You see, the Muslim, they say is the Quran preserved and blah blah. You know, we laugh, you know, but and for me, as I said, I'm not interested to prove it not to be preserved, but I'm sharing education with you. So in case you need it, you use it. If you remember, there's a verse in the Quran. If you go to the video of this potato Uthman, he says the Quran preserved word by word, right? Just to show you a very clear proof. Chapter 36, verse number 38. So guys, by the way, which one is better, the previous broadcast or this one as a screen and sound? I think this one is better, right? I think this one is way better, is more clear, the screen is easy to see. You know, that's why I'm back to it. So, do you see what the verse is saying? The verse saying, the sun run to its course. Say his course. I mean, have you ever heard of such? The sun runs his course. What kind of translation? What the heck is that? Let us go different translator. The sun became his now? His course? And the sun runneth and on into a resting place for him. Change the translator. I mean, what the heck is this? What those people are I mean, are they using like software to translate? Look like it. And the sun runs on its fixed course for a term. Okay. So does it say it run or it says it doesn't run? Somebody help me. Does it say it run to a fixed course or it says it doesn't run to a fixed course? This is a very important reference. I'm going to share it with you and I want all of you to save it. So, and the sun runs on its fixed course. So this is what the Quran we have in front of us, it says. Let us go to Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir. I need to find, because I did format my computer, so I need to find the page of Ibn Kathir. What this page is here now? What happened? Okay, Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir. All right. We found the website that is added to the bar. So we don't need to look for it next time. All right. So in Ibn Kathir, let us show you. Oh, we closed the page by mistake. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. So this is Ibn Kathir. Let us put it on the screen again. Chapter 36. We go to 38. I want you to take reference. I will post the link for you. Ibn Kathir is saying exactly what we were saying in that Quran. In the Quran they have now, the popular Quran, let us say, because there's many Quran. And the sun runs into a fixed course. So it says the same, nothing changed. All right. Let us go down a little bit. And look what it says. And the sun runs with no fixed course for a term. Do you see it? Do you see the opposite? Guys, did you see the opposite? So Ibn Kathir is reporting two recitation of the Quran. One is saying the sun runs to a fixed course, and the other one saying, and the sun runs with no fixed course for a term. How that can be? How both of them can be exist? Go back a little bit, huh? Up, a little bit. On its fixed course for a term. So the sun run to fixed course. Its fixed course beneath the throne. That's what it says. And the sun runs into a fixed course for a term. Okay. We go down a little bit. It says, other recitation, وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لَا مُسْتَقَرَّ لَا. You see the word la here? La mean no. No. Settle in place for it. And that changed everything. See, the Muslim, they lie, they say that the Quran is sent down in 7 recitation, and they are not really different Quran, it's just different dialect. But this is not a dialect. This is the same dialect of Quraysh. Nothing changed. And the word la means there's no fixed course. And that is totally the opposite of the same verse which is in the Quran of Saudi Arabia today. So which one of them is true? This is an example of their lies. Because it cannot be both. You see, they cannot say this is metaphorical. This is about the movement of the sun. And Ibn Kathir, he explained the Prophet was riding his donkey. And he have a guy behind him. Because you cannot sit in front of Muhammad. Remember, his private part is always busy. He's a prophet. Come on. So, when he was sitting behind the Prophet asked him, do you know where the sun goes? Abu Dhar? Abu Dhar means the father of the ants. Do you know where the sun set? I said, Allah and his messengers knows best. He said, It's set under the throne of Allah. It goes and prostrates itself beneath Allah's throne. And this is additional proof that Muhammad is a fraud, because he thinks that the sun is moving every day from point A to point B, and point B is under the ass of Allah. May Allah ask you, Abdul. But now the problem is bigger, because in the Quran, which we showed you in the other website, it says, وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍ لَهَا, and the sun runs into a fixed course. So it runs to a fixed course. But there is other reading for the Quran, which Muslim cannot dispute, says the opposite. وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لَا مُسْتَقَرَّ لَهَا, and the sun runs with no fixed course for a term. How we can fix that? I think all the watermelon in the world, they cannot fix this hole, which is a hole in the narrative. Do you remember Mr. Hole in the narrative? How big this hole is? Do the sun runs to a fixed course, or the sun does not run for a fixed course? How both recitation can be true? And why they lie to us? They say it's just different dialect. Yeah, all the closer friends of Muhammad, they are father of something, you know. So the Abu Dhar is the father of the ant, Abu Hurairah the father of the cats, Muhammad, his last name is dog, Kilab, his wife the daughter of Jahish, which mean donkey. It's a zoo. Do we have any Muslim here have an objection? If you have an objection, don't forget to object, because that's what makes you Muslim. We believe without understanding. I object. You object what? I don't know, whatever you say. But it's not me who's saying that. This is Ibn Kathir. I don't object. I don't care Ibn Kathir. What Ibn Kathir? Ibn Kathir is a Jew. Actually, there's a proof that he was a Hindu. He's a Hindu from Brazil. All Brazil are Hindus. You know, they are Hindu, like, you know, the thing. Abdul, do you know where Brazil? Yes, Brazil. I know where Brazil. It's in you know, the Zimbabwe. This is where the Amazon coming, and there's the Nile River, and you know there is Euphrates. What the heck? All of those things is in Zimbabwe. You know, are you sure? Yeah, absolutely, I'm sure. You see, in the old days when I debate Muslims, if you notice, I used to say, "Are you sure?" These days, I'm not using this word no more. Did you ask yourself why? Because I noticed the second I say to Abdul, "Are you sure?" he knew that he is going to have a big poo-poo. So they hang up, you know. So I stopped using that word, because now he knew that it's time to be spanked. So I stopped using it, like, "Are you sure?" You know. And then Abdul, he says, "Yeah, absolutely, I'm sure. Why you are keep repeating, huh?" But now they learn that when I say that word, it's mean an earthquake. It's better to flee. So they hang up and they leave. So I stop using the are you sure? So Muslims, are you sure that the sun does not run to a fixed course, or it to a fixed course? Anyone? And you know, if you are laughing about my geography, I'm just learning from Prophet Muhammad. You see, Prophet Muhammad, he went to heaven, and he found in the heaven of Allah, up in the sky, brother, in the sky. That Sihan wa Jihan and Nile and Euphrates are in heaven, in the sky. You don't believe it? Read it. The guy, he went to seventh heaven in the top of a flying donkey. And what he discovered? He discovered that Sihan wa Jihan, the Nile River and Euphrates, they are coming from under the tree of Allah. And then you ask yourself, did Muhammad really go to heaven, or he went to Ethiopia? And Nile River is in Ethiopia, and Euphrates in the north of Syria, south of Turkey. How that happen? And Sihan and Jihan is the same. Any Abdul can tell us what happened? Did Muhammad he go to really to the heaven or Ethiopia? And then, by the way, this is explain why Muhammad. You see, remember the story? There's a chapter in the Quran. It's called the chapter of the genie. The chapter of the genie. The funny, the Muslims they say nobody can make Quran like Allah. And then you find the chapter of the genie. All the conversation is the genie talking. But anyway, if you remember, once upon a time, the Prophet was traveling. He found a group of black people. In Arabic, they call them az-zut. Very dark, with very dark black. And brothers and sisters, do you know what those black guys did to the Prophet? They start riding him. So I am thinking, maybe since Muhammad he went to Euphrates, and where the Nile River is coming from, I think this is where he met those black people, and they were naked, and they were riding Muhammad all day long. All day long. And let me give you the reference, so you can use Google Translation, peace be upon him. Just open it in browser of Google, and you can click at Google Translation, and you will find the reference. A bunch of black guys, they were riding Prophet Muhammad all day long, to the point at the end of the day he cannot move. And you know, it says Rakibu. You know Rakibu? Oh boy, I have to use my art now. You guys, why you are doing that to me? I mean, you are forcing me to use my skills against my will. I mean, come on. That's not even fair. See, I mean, why they do that to me? Why? Is that because I'm like an Arab and I'm very like kind and nice, you know? So Rakibu, let us draw it for you. Draw it. I know, all of you. You cannot wait to see my drawing. I'm born gifted, by the way. Since I was a kid, I was like 1 day old. You know, my mom, she told me, like, I took the, my dad, he have a B7, and I took it and I shoot and I start drawing in the sky with the B7, you know. So like I'm artist since born, you know. Since I was born, I was, alhamdulillah, I was born artistic. And this is a true story. If you don't kiss, you don't believe me. And who cares if you believe me or not anyway. So this is a Prophet Muhammad. In order to ride him, he have to go in his four, in his legs and his feet. And the guys, those African guys, according to the story, the one I gave you in the website, they were riding him. I don't know how many of them they were riding him in the same time. This is one of them, his legs is down. This is the second one. The Prophet is strong, by the way. I mean, come on. The guy, he can have 6, like he have the power of 40 men, so you can imagine how many he can handle. So the hadith says in the reference we gave you, they were riding the Prophet, a group of az-zut, which is very black people, all day long. The first time I did read this, I asked myself, how in the world this can be happening? And how in the world that the Muslim, they say, they filter anything is insulting to the Prophet. Remember, when the Muslim wrote the books about Muhammad, they said, like Ibn Ishaq, he said that anything is not suitable to be written, I took it off. So this is after the filtration. A group of black men, they rode Muhammad all day long, and they were naked. They were what? They were wearing no clothing. And this is the reference in front of you. The book of Musnad Imam Ahmad. Let me use Google translation. Volume number 1, page number 399. And here you see the story from the authority of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. This guy, he claimed that he was with the Prophet of Islam when this has happened. So there's a group of black people. Let's see if the translation will come right. You see, they were wearing no clothes on them. Yeah, the translation is silly. It's not really right, you know. But what you can do, I mean, we have to use Google. Maybe the best is to copy the text like line by line and translate, because sometimes when you put the whole page together, the translation come weird. But let's see where it says they were riding him all day long. Look what it says here. This person, he was terrified, the companion of Muhammad, and he wrote the Quran, by the way. This guy is a Quran writer, or he is a reciter for the Quran. They were riding Muhammad all the way since the morning until night. And then the Prophet, the messenger, he came back. Look what happened. The messenger came back, and he was in pain because they rode him all night and all day, or all day. Where it says that they rode him. I'm trying just to read this stupid translation. It is, he came with heavy pain. Here we go. So the Messenger of Allah, he came with heavy pain. Almost he cannot even move, because they rode him all day. And for sure, translation, as I said, is coming horrible. The best way is to take the text, like few lines at the same time, and pause them in Google one by one. I think that is the best way to get a translation. So anyway, when the Muslims, they say, this is the same guy as I blocked. He is just a troll. He called himself a princess now. He was a guy, he became a female by the power of Allah. Well, I hope they will road you, you know. Just go to the Nile River and you get what you deserve. So when somebody, he says to you the Bible is corrupt, don't defend it. Say to him, the Bible of Allah is corrupt. Let everybody laugh. The second you say that to a Muslim, the Muslim, he will change his mind. He will change the topic. He don't want to talk about it no more. When a Muhammadan, he says that the Christians and the Jews, they changed the word of Allah. The Quran in chapter 6 verse number 34, chapter 10 verse number 64 says it clearly, nobody can alter the word of Allah. And this message was about messengers who came before Muhammad. So how the Quran says nobody can change the word of Allah, and the Muslim, they say no, you can. And if they say to you this is about the Quran, Well, the verse is so clear, speaking about messengers before Muhammad. And he did not say the Quran. He says nobody can change the words of Allah. Is the Quran only is the word of Allah, or the gospel and the Torah as Muslims they claim? Then we go to the verses about Allah, He entrusted the Jews. Allah, He entrusted the Jews. To do what? He entrusted the Jews to protect the Torah. Was Allah aware that His trust is stupid? So if Allah is the one who made such a mistake, is that a mistake? Muslims, is that a mistake or a bad, is that a bad decision, a mistake, a wise decision? Somebody tell me. Allah trusted the Jews to protect the Torah. He trusted specifically the rabbis and the doctors, the high scholars. Did Allah make the right decision? Any Muslim can help? The word trust is very clear. Mean he have faith that they are good. You trust people only when you have faith, you believe them. You believe they are good. When you trust somebody, you give him your money. You go to the bank, you give them the money. You're not even worried about it. Why? Because you trust that your money is safe. But if that is not the case, if you want to give it to your neighbor, you will be worried about your neighbor taking the money and never show up again. My friend Barahuta, why you have to repeat the same thing 1,000 times? We saw it. Come on. I mean, at least say something useful. So when Allah He say He entrusted, what about you make a comment about what I'm saying instead of repeating the same thing? You know why the Muslim says the Bible is not changed? Because we don't have 4 wives. Say something useful. Allah He trusted. Allah He made a bad decision or good decision, Muslims? So take this note, chapter 5, verse number, here we go, before you on the screen, 44. 44. How did Allah He trust the Jews to protect His book? Do Allah knew the future? If Allah He knew the future and then He says He trusted them, that means His future was not right. His vision of the future is false. Allah do not know the future. Do we have any Abdul? Anyone have a question before we finish for today? You see, because we have too many production, not too many people are joining. It's okay. You know, I can slow down and, like, you know, maybe don't do video tomorrow, but I prefer to do more, even if there is not enough people watching. You know, doing the right thing is always a good thing. And I hope people will learn, people will take notes, and they will learn. He does entrust just means you gave them the responsibility for a test. Somalia, I don't know. This is an answer of somebody who have a mental illness. Let me tell you why. Guys, Somalia, he have the answer for you. We have the answer. Let me show you what he said. The answer is right there, right clear, you know. Like, I mean, come on, you cannot deny it. So look what he said. He does entrust just means you gave them the responsibility for a test between 2 brackets and they failed. But you know that when you use certain word, that word have a meaning. You cannot say it means. It just means trust is a trust. There's a billion word in Arabic can be used to describe what you are saying. And you Muslims claim that the Quran is a perfect Arabic. So how when the word Allah is using the wrong word if you want to say something else? If Allah he meant what you are saying, he shall not use in trust. And when you say for a test, because Allah is risking his book, you see, it is my responsibility as God, not as they are Jews. Jews are people, they are a human. Isn't it the Quran confirmed that all human are sinners? How you trust a sinner? You do not need to test. Human beings fail always. Did Allah trust the Muslims in the protection of the Quran? Give me the answer. If Allah trusted the Jews as a test, well, he should give the Quran to be trusted to the Muslims. Look what the Quran says. And this is why the Muslims did not collect the Quran. The Quran says, Inna alayna jam'uhu wa Qur'anahu. It is on us to collect it and reciting it. It's not on you. Chapter 75, verse number 17. It is for us to collect it. It's for us to recite it. You see here they add Muhammad, that's false. There's no Muhammad there. So the Quran making it clear that the one who will collect the book is Allah. Muslims, who is the one who collected the book? Any Muslim can answer? Who is a Muslim can answer us? Who is the one who collected the Quran? Was it Allah or Muslims, including Uthman, who burned the other Quran? Who is a Muslim? He have little dignity to answer. Did Allah keep his promise to collect the Quran? Thom, I just gave you the reference. You are asking for tafsir. Tafsir, they will quote this book. They will quote Ibn Mas'ud. Ibn Mas'ud is a companion of the Prophet, the false prophet. So what do you mean tafsir? This is more important than tafsir book. Any Muslim can answer me. Who is the one who collected the Quran? So now we trust the Quran that Allah, he said that I will collect the Quran. Did Allah keep his promise to collect the Quran? Any Muhammadan? Did Allah keep his promise to collect the Quran? All of us, we knew that the Muslims, they start collecting the Quran after Muhammad's death. All of us, we knew that Uthman ibn Affan, he burned the Quran. He burned many Quran. And this is the weird. The Muslim, they say that if you burn the Quran, that's haram, and they will go crazy. But the first one who burned the Quran is Uthman. So it is the Muslims who collected the Quran. And there was many Quran to the point they start burning them. And until now, there's many Quran. So when Allah, he says, it is on us to collect it. Us who? Who is a Muslim want to help us? My friend Yaakov, didn't you see I have a topic? I just started answering something. Just wait. Who is a Muslim can answer? It is on us to collect the Quran. Who is talking and who is us? And did Allah collect the Quran? So do you see how the Quran failed its own promise? How you Muslim, you claim that the Quran is protected, and then the Quran is a promise to be collected by Allah, not by you? Who of you Muslims can tell me where we can find the Quran which is collected by Allah? Any Muhammadan? So do you see how Islam create a test, and always Islam fail its own test? So Allah, He entrusted the Jews, and the word trust means trust. It's not a test. And if you say to me it's a test, well, that's mean Allah, He do not know the result of the test, because He used the word entrust. So His trust was false. Same time, if Allah, He knew that the Jews are going to corrupt the book, and yet He entrusted the Jews to protect the book, that means Allah intentionally decided to corrupt His own book. Do you understand? If I know that by giving you this book, and I trust you to protect the book, and I am God who can see tomorrow, I can see the future, and I know that you will corrupt the book, is it that means that I'm a partner of the corruption, and I am the one who allow it, and actually I'm the one who planned for it? If you ask the Muslims, can the corruption of the Quran or the Torah or the Gospel can happen without permission of Allah? What the Muslim they will say? They will say everything is by permission of Allah. Everything. Therefore, if there is any corruption happen, it was Allah who did it. Allah is Satan. And who is going to hurt more or get hurt more than the one who corrupt his own book? You see, I have my books. Somebody, he added something into it. Who is the first one who was going to be unhappy with that? Me. This is not what I say. And if I give a book and I convince people that this is a book of God, and then I allow people to play with my book, and I am God, now I am misleading generations by allowing it to happen. Why? Because those people, whoever come after those people who corrupted the book, well, they believe. They are victims. They believe in the corrupted book, but for them it's not corrupted. Additional to that, why the Christians, when they come after the Jews and the disciple of Jesus, did not say that the Torah is corrupted? Why they accept it? Why the Christianity now they accept it? The story is very simple. Muhammad, he could not find any proof himself. Hamoud saying, why it does matter to you? You will simply deny our answer. Let me ask you, my friend, what do you mean why it's a matter for you? You Muslim keep saying that the book of Allah, the Torah, is corrupted. The book of Allah is the Injil, is corrupted. I had to take an opportunity and to laugh at the Quran and the founder of the Quran. Because if Allah, he sent the book, and then Allah, he trusted the Jews to protect the book, and then Allah, he decided not to protect the book, and then you, because of your foolishness, to come to me speaking about my book, when the whole Quran keeps saying this is the book of Allah. So we should laugh at who? We should laugh at Allah. Look what you say. You will simply deny our answer. Who, you know, I'm not waiting for your answer. We are laughing. Can you answer anyway? Allah trusted the Jews. Can you answer? You cannot. Let me ask you, why, if Jesus is God, his apostle turned him? He failed as a teacher. He failed as God in your book. This is the most stupid answer. I'm just showing you now. Here we go. Your God, Allah, he entrusted the Jews. They failed him. Jesus trusted nobody. Jesus even told the one who will deny him, you will deny me. He told the one, you will betray me, you will betray me. Your God, he trusted, and then they gave him a finger. Jesus told the guy who is going to betray him, you will betray me. It wasn't a surprise. Christian, is that correct? Is it true that Jesus, before those things happened, he told his disciple, each one of them, what he will do? Each one of them. So when we laugh, we are laughing at a religion. There's a God, he sent a book, and then he don't want to protect his book. What's wrong with this God? So when you Muslim, you say the Bible is corrupted, we have to laugh, because this is supposed to be the book of Allah. Your God is mentally ill. He sent the book and he decided to let the book go. Why? And not only that, if the Torah was corrupted, how many years Allah he waited to send somebody to tell us? Was your God Allah taking a nap? The Christian, the Muslim, they say that the one who corrupted the Bible is Paul. Wonderful. So Allah, he waited 600 years. And then even when Muhammad, he said, not a single time he mentioned Paul. Actually, the opposite. If you go to chapter 36, it says that there's three messengers that went to the city of Antioch, and those are the messengers of Jesus. They are messengers of who? Of Jesus.